FC Edmonton Soccer, starting now on City. Brought to you by City, the Fath Group, High Signs, and Earthwater.
Looking to drive one from long range, and he's hit the top corner. It's a beauty for Daryl Fordyce. Here, and Lang's just gone past his marker and driven one into the back of the net. And FC Edmonton are on fire this afternoon. Welcome back to Clarke Stadium, FC Edmonton's last game of the season, and a gorgeous day for it too. The players shaking hands as we get ready for the last 90 minutes, and our match day presenting partner today, the Edmonton International Airport. Getting ready now for the A&W Junior Eddies, out on the pitch for the coin toss, brought to you by A&W. The captains, Albert Watson, of course, and Matt Boehner for Jacksonville. And the little ones getting to meet the officials in the middle. Neither team here can make the playoffs, but still a lot riding for both on today's game. Let's take a look at the starting lineups they're going with today, brought to you by Waterloo Ford Lincoln. FC Edmonton giving a game in goal to Tyson Farago, and a back four of Alan Zeeby on the right, Johan Smith on the left, Watson partnered in the center of defense by Milan Roberts, Niasi Rodales Correa in the midfield, Cruz and Jones just behind Daryl Fordyce, the lone striker for the Eddies today. And for Jacksonville in goal, David Sierra, Sean Nicklaw at right back, the left back Lucas Trejo, Boehner and Mishak Jerome in the middle of defense, Nicolas Perea on the right, Lucas Scaglia on the left, Jaime Castrillon in the midfield, Pascal Million will play on the right, Jamal Johnson on the left up front, and Tommy Krizanovic, the center forward for Jacksonville. Nice clear conditions in Edmonton today. It could have been much worse than we have it. A little bit of a breeze, but well above freezing, 9 degrees and dry. Certainly could have been snowing this time of the year, so both sets of players will be happy with that.
Well, I think when we looked at this game on the schedule, we were thinking this might be the Ice Bowl, looking at when this game was going to be happening. And honestly, with the kind of October we've enjoyed in Edmonton with this above seasonal temperatures, 9 degrees Celsius, it's a gorgeous day.
The Jacksonville players in a huddle, the FC Edmonton starting lineup just going through their own routine as well. In the home blue colors today, there they are, the Eddies players. This could be the last time some of them play together. Colin Miller already suggesting that 5 of the current squad not going to be here next year, and he said all along, today is not one of those days where people tend to throw out the cliches, players playing for contracts. He says that he already knows who he wants to be back in the club next year.
Yeah, I think that the 3-game road trip that the Eddies just returned from, coming back with no points and giving up some bad goals. And let's go back to that game against Jacksonville, in Jacksonville, where you're up 2-1 and you're up a man and you give up 2 goals in very short order. I think those games are the games that tell the coach a lot more about his team than necessarily a game like this.
Still feeling that had he been able to put out a settled team, that his players might just have had enough to make the playoffs, but as of now, it's another season where the Eddies won't quite make it this year. Hoping to put on a show for the home fans today, though, and Cruz getting his first touch out on the left-hand side. That's where Correa's playing today, and he's having a pretty good go in the early stages here, and attempts to whip over the cross, and some good early enterprise by Dustin Correa. Gets a corner for the Eddies.
Jacksonville, too, has a couple of players that we normally see for them play who aren't here. Al Hussein Keita is not playing their normal #1 goalie. I believe Miguel Gallardo isn't with the team or isn't playing today. So some other changes as well.
Bobble drilled in corner that didn't really get off the ground, but it's picked up by Cruz. Gets the ball into Fordyce. It's bobbling around in there. Tries to lay it off for Jones. In the end, Niasi gets a shot deflected over and wide for another corner kick.
Jacksonville didn't deal with it. They had a couple of chances to get that ball out into safety and weren't able to deal with it. It's not great touches there. And Edmonton will get another bite.
Correa's going to take it from this side of the field as well. With the left foot, Lance Lang out injured today, so not able to play. Correa then moves to the left, and Niasi getting the game on the right wing. This time he's put it into the near post. Again, it's bobbling around in there and played back out wide by Roberts to Correa for another chance, and this one charged down very well. Some good aggression there defensively by Jamal Johnson. It's a throw-in for the Eddies.
And you mentioned Lance Lang's absence, and in the pregame show we talked about it a bit. He's missed about a third of the season now with call-ups and injuries, and the Eddies have one win in those games.
Shame he couldn't tip his hat to the home fans in the last game this season, a season where he's really looked at times very deadly out there for FC Edmonton this season.
And his contract is up too, so there'll be some interesting decisions to be made there with the season that he's enjoyed.
Niasi looking for a flick to try and play, and Cruz doesn't quite come off, and it's an opportunity for Jacksonville with Krasanovic to get the ball, and he has a free kick for Jacksonville.
Looks like Jamal Johnson is standing over the ball here, being joined by Lucas Trejo. It's a question of what's going to come in, the right foot or the left foot. And now Trejo moves away, so it looks like it'll be an in-swinger from Johnson.
Right-footed, it's gone to the far post. An early test for Farrago, but he claims that one with no problem, and an easy rollout for him to get Smith racing away on the left-hand side. Now Correa trying to switch the ball, but that's going to be intercepted by Trejo. And now here's Johnson on the left. Johnson running with purpose into the penalty area here. Good break by him. In comes the cross, and he got the deflection off of Roberts. Roberts claiming it last hit Johnson, but the referee was on the spot and has given a corner.
Now we'll see Jacksonville set up for set pieces. The one thing, they're not an extraordinary, they're a very quick team, Jacksonville. As we look here, Jamal Johnson, and I think it's Alan Zeeby with the block there. But Jacksonville's a very quick team. Other coaches in the league have told me, not just Edmonton, that this is the quickest foot speed team in the league, but they don't have a lot of height. So we'll see how they do on the set pieces.
Gone very deep to the far post this time. In fact, too deep, and drifts all the way out. And will be a goal kick for Farrago.
But really a bit of bizarre scheduling when you look at it, that it's taken all the way to the last game of the season for Jacksonville to actually make their first trip up to Edmonton.
Back-to-back games recently, again the one Steve referred to, where Jacksonville came from behind to pull off a famous victory, and earlier in the season was the game where Johnson scored in the first minute.
12 seconds in, he set a league record. And that was the first game of the season, so maybe that's the story. Edmonton conceded 12 seconds into the year.
Zeeby playing this one back to Farrago. He's going to have to control this, and he's in a little bit of trouble there. Krasanovic putting on the pressure. Good pressing game by him, and Farrago just decides to kick it into touch.
It was a little bit of a difficult ball to handle. It was bobbling on him on the turf and wasn't settling down for him. And it gave Krasanovic some time just to accelerate and get on the keeper.
David Sierra with the ball just outside of his area for Jacksonville. Decides to go long on that one, and Watson getting the header away. The player winning the Supporters Player of the Year, Albert Watson, and a nice glass vase presented to him just before the game by the Supporters Club.
Okay, and we have, it should be noted too that Jacksonville's expansion team and Edmonton's the only team they've beaten twice this year. Of course, they're a very good team at home, though, and I will say that both those games were in Jacksonville, and they're very much like the Carolina Railhawks, a team that's sort of Jekyll and Hyde, home and road.
Well, in fact, have not won a game on the road so far this season. So that's one of the things they'll be looking to do today, Jacksonville against Edmonton. Johnson proving to be a handful for Zeeby in the early going, but Zeeby doing well in that battle there, and it's Rodales with the ball here for FC Edmonton, playing another back pass to Farago. Plays it out to the right wing, and a flicked on header by Niassi. Zeeby deciding to take that one on his chest and get rid of it on the chest of Niassi eventually, who plays it back to Roberts. The ball coming backwards a lot at the moment for FC Edmonton, just trying to find some space in there. It seems pretty crowded for them at the moment. Roberts has given that one away, put his team in trouble right on the edge of his own penalty area, and Watson coming across to make the interception. In the end, header just wide, and Roberts would want that one back.
Yeah, poor pass. Poor decision to put that ball on the ground with the number of, I guess, what do you want to call these, gold jerseys that are on the pitch, and really pressing up in this 4-3-3 that Jacksonville is playing. So dangerous ball on the ground, intercepted, and really Jacksonville had a couple of chances there to do something with it.
As it is, it's a goal kick for Farago. No goals, 7 minutes into the game. Flipped on by Fordyce. Cruz gets a touch on it. It's easy for Trejo in towards Jamal Johnson, but he's muscled out of it. Played forward to Correa. Correa on that left-hand side just puts on the brakes, and then there's the ball back into the midfield, but he's given that one away. One back by Niassi on the edge of the area. Niassi breaking into the box and tackled very well. Some appeals for a penalty, but that was a very fine challenge inside the penalty area.
I would consider those appeals about as half-hearted as a half-hearted appeal can be. You were right there. That was a fair challenge.
Some promising signs, though. Niassi running into the box, using his speed there. It's going to be an easy pickup for Tyson Farago. Played the last game of last season as well and made some very good saves in that one, and seems to have made the backup spot his own this year.
Yeah, and the one thing with Tyson that we saw just a couple of seconds ago is the one thing that we know about him is, boy, can he kick the ball a long way. We've seen that with him in terms of playing the ball out when he's played. You know, Colin Miller said how he can just kick the ball a mile. And that's the other parts of goalkeeping. You know, a lot of fans, they look at the shot stopping. They don't look at how well a keeper plays corners, how well he marshals the back line, communicates, and as well playing the ball out and starting attacks by rolling it out or kicking it out.
Roberts playing one back to Farago here. Smith trying to press forward down that left-hand side for FC Edmonton, but unable to get on the end of that one. Throw in for Jacksonville. Boehner for Jacksonville. Johnson having a go around the outside of Zeeby. Zeeby maintaining his position well and getting the throw in. Winning the ball back well for Jacksonville here. Edge of the penalty area, he's drilled one towards goal. The flag's up. Farrago makes the stop anyway, but Pereira with far too much room as he chased towards the goal on the edge of that penalty area.
Yeah, it's one thing that the offside call was up and the defenders had come up, but you're right there. He had gone by undetected there. He leaves Milan Roberts. See it there, given the offside. Very, very close decision, but at the same time, he was able to slip away defenders and can't take that chance. That's not a designed offside. That's one that just happens and helps you out.
Richie Jones in trouble with the referee here. He's going to get a yellow card for that late tackle, the first card from the referee's notebook. And there's going to be some treatment on the pitch for Lucas Scaglia. There's where Jones comes in. Looks like a genuine attempt to get his head on the ball, but
it's a follow through with the arm there. Pushes through.
Looks like that's what the card would have been for. Referee Alain Rouge very quick to give the caution to Jones there. He's been another player who's been in and out with injuries at various times in the season.
All year long, and you know, we hope that Scaglia is okay here. He's been down for a little bit, but you're right, Richie Jones, and it's been the story of Edmonton's season. There's been lots of injuries, and I think Colin Miller lamented to us that he's not really had the luxury of putting out the same lineup, and I'd argue too with international call-ups. And I know it sounds like I'm making excuses, but I don't think any team in NASL has been as affected by international call-ups as FC Edmonton. So that's where it's at with this team. They've been hurt by that.
One thing that they'll be happy about is that Amiobi and Lang both on the nomination list for the 2015 North American Soccer League Golden Ball Award, the MVP. Lang and Amiobi in the running for that, and there'll be votes around the league to see who gets the call up for that one. I think Lang would be one of the front runners, but again, missed some games because of the internet. He's another one of the players.
I think he would have been the front runner had he played the whole season. In fact, from what I talked about before, there was ever a case, because it is most valuable player. You know, we can have the debate if it's best or most valuable. Edmonton's record when he plays, they're a playoff team. They're a playoff team easily, and they've only got one win in the games that he's missed. He's missed about a third of the season with call-ups. I mean, I think it's one thing the league has to address. I think as the league grows and more NASL players are getting called up, and we're seeing a lot, and it's a great thing for this league, but they have to understand that the teams are getting penalized. And I think that's something that they have to look at for next year. You can't always take breaks for every international, but during some of the big weeks, they've got to think about maybe taking the weekend off.
Korea penalized for a handball there. Referee on the spot to give Jacksonville the free kick.
You see Scaglia is getting checked on the sidelines to see if he can continue. This is good to see. You have to be very careful with a head injury. It looks like Jacksonville is taking the proper precautions, and I think that's good to see. It's something that we've talked a lot about in soccer.
Free kick just running harmlessly through into touch. Goal kick for Tyson Farragut. Always a concern with it being a head injury, whether there's a potential concussion or not, but it looks like Scaglia's going to be okay to carry on here.
It was a hard fall he took. And let's face it, this is a turf surface. It's a new turf surface still. It's only it's about a year old now. But it's still a little bit hard to fall on when you're not braced for it.
Johnson in some space here on the left-hand side. Good control for him to bring that ball down. Moves it into the middle. He's got an overlapping run on the right wing. Smith doing a good job defensively there to win himself a throw-in for FC Edmonton.
We've seen it a couple of times so far this game. Johnson in their 4-3-3 setup, he sets up on that left side, but he cuts in a lot, gets central, likes to move around the pitch, likes to use his speed, see where he can drag the defender out to. See him cut into the middle a lot.
Jacksonville just growing in confidence as the first half wears on here. Korea stopping Pereira. And a handball given this time against Jacksonville. It's the Eddie's ball. Still 0-0 at Clarke Stadium. Gets on the end of Watson's through ball and has got Niassi on the overlap. He's going to get to that ball, keep it in touch. It's a good cutback. Well defended in the end. It's a throw-in for FC Edmonton.
Jacksonville back in numbers, and the Eddies didn't have a lot of blue shirts in the box when Niassi made that run.
Niassi trying to go for the byline again here and has won a corner kick for the Eddies.
Cruz is out to take it now. Korea had been taking them earlier.
Cruz playing it short to find Rodales, and Rodales' cross snuffed out, and that's a bit of a waste of a corner.
Yeah, with Cruz moving to the corner, you had a feeling it might be something they worked up on the training ground, and not being a direct attempt into the box that we would normally see from Dustin Correa.
Heading that one into the penalty area. It's well defended by Jacksonville again, all the way through to Farragut. He's got Roberts alongside him. Here Roberts starts another attack for the Eddies, finding Correa on the left wing. He's dispossessed by Pascal Million. Roberts has it back. Now Rodales. Drilled that one wide to the right, taken down on the chest of Niassi, turns inside his defender. A great run here by Niassi. His cross to the far post is just overhit, and that's out for a goal kick.
I'm not even sure if that was a cross or a shot attempt. It's hard to tell which one, but yeah, he was able to turn Lucas Trejo inside out there, chested it past him and was able to get inside. But yeah, the touch on the right foot was not what he wanted after that.
Very dangerous with his speed, and once he touches the ball by, he's difficult to catch, and that's when he was away.
He did well. He chested that ball down and toe poked it by Trejo.
Dominant header by Watson through to Fordyce, who began in an offside position, and the flag is up.
And have to say that we're 20 minutes into the game, and neither keeper has had to do anything other than maybe catch something or kick the ball out. No real threatening scoring chance from either team so far.
Promising attack by Jacksonville here. Johnson again in possession on the left-hand side. Cross whipped in towards goal, and Roberts sliding in there and conceding the corner kick.
Johnson again showing what he can do with that foot speed. Gets that step on Zeeby. But well read. Roberts and Watson were both there.
Tomek Kruzanovic with the corner kick. To the near post, and Farrago in two minds of what to do with it. Got his fist on it, though.
Dustin Correa is apologizing to him because Dustin Correa got right in his sight line as that ball was coming across. You can see Correa waving to him as he was moving up, saying, sorry for that. I know that's an easy catch for you. And I made the wrong step because he basically cut Farrago off from the ball. Cut off his sight line.
Slight moment of concern there for Edmonton, but in the end the ball scrambled away. Johnson on the chest, edge of the penalty area, well worked to Castrillon. Trejo on the left. Good tackle by Jones, and Fordyce in possession. He's chipped that one up for Niasi to chase, but Boehner staying very well within there. Good pace on Boehner's part, and playing the ball back to his goalkeeper, David Sierra. Roberts has done well there. He's taken it around 2 or 3 players. Jones to Fordyce, and now Zeeby. Zeeby just pushing it down the line. There's Niasi with the cutback. And Jacksonville with enough players back to get rid of the danger. Castrillon has Johnson outside of him. Johnson here again, cutting in from the left wing. He's put the cross to the far post and just got a bit too much on it. Been kept in on the right-hand side, though, well by Million. Million beats Smith and gets in the cross. It's away by Roberts. Johnson on the edge of the area, still going, and that's a great stop by Farrago, getting down to deny Jamal Johnson.
Great stop, not so great defending that Jamal Johnson's allowed to sort of move around the box here, outrun 2 defenders, both Zeeby and Watson, and turn that into a shot. He's actually surrounded by 3 defenders in the end, and he still gets that off. I know they're probably worried about maybe fouling him in the box, but when you're isolated like that, like Jamal Johnson was, and you have the numbers back, you shouldn't be allowing that kind of point-blank opportunity.
Johnson causing some problems for Edmonton in the first 23 minutes of this match. One of the standout players for Jacksonville, but it remains 0-0. Control by Trejo, chesting the ball down and bringing it out of defense. Castrillon. A good tangle there with Rodales. Boehner for Mishak. Jerome. Looking to play in Johnson again here on the left. And he's turned inside Zeeby this time. There's the cutback. Excellent stop by Watson, who read the play well and somehow got in the way of that one.
They just got to be really aware. Jacksonville's identified this as as the area where they can attack Edmonton. It seems everything is coming down that left side with Jamal Johnson, and that they are saying, like, look, you can't match his pace. He's outrunning. He's just simply outrunning people.
Zeeby's definitely got his hands full today against Johnson. With Trejo now. His cross away by Watson. Jacksonville just turning the screw a little bit. Attempting to play in Johnson again, but that ball's too long. It'll be a goal kick for Edmonton.
And this is the kind of day, too, where it's 9-10 degrees out. Beautiful fall day, but you know, you're not playing in punishing heat like a lot of NASL games are. So someone like Johnson, those batteries just last so much longer. You're just not getting sapped. You can regain your energy and keep going. So the Eddies have to find a way to address this, because every attack is coming down the left side. It's not a matter of getting Johnson handled. It's not allowing balls to get to him. That's what you have to say, is you got to do a better job cutting off balls down that wing to him.
Cruz in a battle with Perea. Perea coming out on top and finding Boehner, the captain. Twists and turns and plays it back to his own keeper. Jerome again. Correa doing some good defensive work on the left for Edmonton. Scaglia seems to have settled back into the game after that head injury early on. Throw in here for Zeeby. Fordyce going up with the header. It's with Johnson again. Tackled by Rodales, but the referee giving the free kick to Jacksonville. Fordyce just shouting for everyone to move up, feeling like his team are a little bit flat-footed at the moment.
Well, really going forward, Edmonton really hasn't created much or anything yet.
Fordyce might get in around behind Boehner here, but a good recovery from the Jacksonville defender. Doesn't get much distance on that defensive header. Trejo bringing the ball forward, a nice through pass, and there's a chance here. Jamal Johnson just behind the play. Here he is now, still in the penalty area. Sliding one square for the strike on goal, and it's straight at Farrago, who makes the save. But once again, Jacksonville with a little bit too much space and freedom in there than Colin Miller would probably like.
The Eddies are very flat-footed today, and I know Jacksonville's got a lot of foot speed, but that's a simple ball through the middle that Krzyzanowicz is the first to run onto. And then it creates a scoring chance, drops the ball for Johnson. And Edmonton's just been a step slow everywhere. Step slow to react, offensively, defensively, and really not a lot of jump in their step right now, and they've got to get that going.
They've got to throw in here. Approaching the halfway mark of the first half. No goals so far. No real chances either for FC Edmonton yet. Watson pulled well out of his centre-half position, but able to play that one back to Farrago's. Rushed into his clearance, but does get the ball into touch. Winning the ball back for the Eddies, finding Daryl Fordyce. The outside of the right foot, plays one over the top for Jones, who puts the pressure on, but Jerome does enough and gets it out for a throw-in. Korea, nice 1-2 on the right wing. Boehner easily picks up his cross and finds Johnson once again. Rodales putting the pressure on from behind there, but has given the ball straight back to Pereira, who's played it forward to Krasanovic. Never the favorite to get there, and Watson just pushed him into touch and plays the ball across to Roberts.
Rodales is down. Are the Eddies going to play it out? Yes, they do. After giving the ball away, Rodales went right down. Yeah, it looks like he slipped on the turf. Doesn't look like there's any contact here. It looks like it's just his hip losing his footing.
Just maybe fell awkwardly there. He's favoring his left knee.
Take advantage of our season-end clearance today. All items reduced today to just $15 to $60. In some cases, 70% off retail pricing. So don't wait. Drop by the FC Edmonton merchandise stand.
It looks like he wanted to plant his foot as he was trying to make that pass, and both feet just gave out from underneath him. But it looks like he's going to be okay.
Just waiting to come back on. The signal from the referee, and Jacksonville sportingly throwing the ball back to FC Edmonton, and it's back with Roberts now. Jacksonville just picking up most of the loose balls in midfield there. Jones getting a touch on that one and conceding the free kick. He's already in the referee's book with a yellow card, so he does have to be careful at this point.
Yeah, he has to be careful, and that wasn't very careful. You know, you're chasing the player that now he's running away from goal. You don't need to do the push. When a player's running away from goal, this is where you don't need to foul him. And when you're on a yellow, that's dangerous territory.
Pascal Million, the player winning that free kick. Another one of the players with a great burst of pace that Jacksonville have got. That forward line, there's a lot of speed in there. And Jones conceding another free kick already on a yellow. He's walking a tightrope now. The referee at any moment now could brandish another card.
Yeah, and I think that's the kind of foul that sets the referee up to say, like, one more like that, and that's going to be it.
A bad effort by Korea, just going over the top, but looking for the lob. Perhaps spotting Sierra just off his line, and wasn't too far away with that. That's probably the closest the Eddies have come.
It is the and that's saying something. We're 33 minutes in to the first half, and that really a hit and hope, and it was an adventurous attempt. And I have to put worrying in quotes when I say the most worrying chance for Jacksonville. The Eddies really need to get more numbers forward. A lot of isolated attacks where it's just one player up on his own.
Goes Zeeby winning the header. Watson just making sure this falls nicely back to Farragut. Watson's ball to Zeeby there, just put him in within range of a Jamal Johnson tackle, and it's a throw in. Zeeby this time steps inside Johnson. He's a little fired up today and gets the challenge in and concedes a free kick. Not too much doubt about that one.
You can hear the contact up here. Foot on his shin pad there.
Just stepping inside of him, showing that he can beat players as well, because Johnson's gone by him in this half. Free kick here to the Eddies. Castrillon just being warned to calm things down a little bit by the referee. Rodales and Correa standing over the ball. Throwing men forward for this one into the box. It's taken quickly. In goes Correa's cross. And that's not go to trouble Sierra, who just whacks it clear first time, but it'll run all the way through to Tyson Farragut in the Eddies' goal.
Another wasted set piece from the Eddies. We've seen a couple chances on set pieces in the Jacksonville's final third, and nothing's come of them. And the Eddies have a significant height advantage, and they should be taking advantage of that.
Fordyce getting a flick onto that one, looking for Correa. It's going to drop for Albert Watson, still deep in his own half. Farragut driving one forward again, and it's won this time by Jerome. Roberts bringing it forward, though, for the Eddies. And here's Smith on the left-hand side. Smith having a go around the outside here. And he's tackled well. Good bit of defending there by Sean Nicklock. And the throw in is for Jacksonville. Nine minutes or so to halftime. No goals so far at Clarke Stadium. Thank you for joining our broadcast. If you're watching on ESPN3, we're live on City Television in Edmonton on World FM. Correa finding Fordyce. Niassi on the right wing. And again, the end product just not quite there for Niassi today. His own half here, bringing this one to the right-hand side. Now Jerome. Krzonovic chasing this one. Roberts is going to try and let it run into touch. It does. Goal kick for the Eddies.
See here, Farragut. I thought you might see the big kick, but just plays it out.
Watson looking for some support, chipping that ball up the right-hand channel.
You can see the frustration of Albert Watson there. Who's making themselves available? Who's making a run for a ball? Eddies really need to find some spark in this game. Right now, we really haven't seen it.
Trejo playing one down the line for Johnson. It's into touch, and Edmonton throw in. ZB's throw, Fordyce the target, it's on the chest, it's one back by Jacksonville, and Castrillon chasing this one. And has himself, thought he had a throw in, but it's gone the way of the Eddies, and ZB finds Tyson Farragut. Smith has given Jones a bit too much to do there. It's with Krasanovic. Run back by Cruz. Here's Correa. Good recovery by Jerome, but Jones plays it back into the path of Cruz. Cruz back to Jones, is within shooting range here, but decides to shovel it out to the right wing with Niasse here. Niasse with the cutback. This time it's a good one, but once again, well defended at that near post by Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think Jones had to shuffle that ball across because he had that ball cut right underneath his feet. I don't think he could have really got a shot off.
Cruz on the left. Oh, he threaded that one through nicely for Correa, and very good defending by David Sierra. Off his line quickly there. Anticipated that one well.
But finally, some life from the Eddies. We're seeing it from Pablo Cruz coming in off that inside left channel. He's able to find some luck and at least run at defenders. At least make the defenders move their feet.
Dallas from the right wing again here, still in possession. It's going to find its way through to Cruz. Cruz trying to get the shot away, being charged down well by Nicola. It's back. A chance of a cross from Smith, now with Roberts.
I think Cruz might have waited too long. I think that shot was there right when he was at the top of the box to let it go. Jones sort of dummied it over to him and decided not to play that ball in the middle and fell to Cruz. I think that was the opportunity. I know he tried to take it in 2-3 steps and then lost a shooting opportunity.
A couple of minutes to half time for FC Edmonton, and then they'll regroup with some words from Colin Miller. Still all to play for. No goals in the game so far.
I think that last attack was an example of just trying to be too perfect, trying to look for that perfect opportunity. Sometimes you got to have a go when you have a good sight of goal, top of the box. It's a good place to be in. Test the keeper.
Watson playing the forward ball for Fordyce, trying to hold it up, but just too many players crowded around him. Fordyce not with the support that he would have hoped for so far in the game today.
Cruz doing well just to bother the defender enough to make him run backwards and at least get Edmonton some territory, so Jacksonville has a throw in from deep in their own half. Even though the throw in, I think you try to make him 10 yards there.
Yeah, right in front of the home fans who made the point there. Referee didn't see anything wrong with it, and Watson plays the ball back to Tyson Farragut.
Thought maybe we'd restart our ongoing season-long debate on illegal throws.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of contenders. Only one of them called so far this season. Johnson trying to get in behind the back here. ZB did very well that time to get back and bring the ball to safety. Finds Niasse as well with the pass. Niasse, though, has given it back to Boehner. Forward passes aimed at Johnson again. Watson is going to let that one run into touch. It's a goal kick for FC Edmonton. We're playing the last 30 seconds of the first half.
one's really in a hurry out there to get this ball back in play.
Has had the feeling of a bit of a dead rubber at times this match, which not much to play for either team. We've got 3 minutes added on in the first half here.
That, well, for Scaglia's injury, he was down for a little bit.
Yeah. Rodales for a little while. Korea edge of the area. There's the cross. Fordyce trying to find room in there. Little back header for Niasi. Trejo making the tackle and then winning the free kick for Jacksonville.
You can certainly tell when the Jacksonville players are doing the "it's not me," because those green gloves, you can spot them from a mile away.
Good timing in the challenge from Trejo there.
Is it cold enough for gloves?
It's marginal, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I understand. It's relative to where you live and where you're normally acclimatized to. So what we consider a beautiful day, I'm sure they might be saying it's freezing cold out there.
Yeah, none of the Eddie's players wearing gloves today, but 3 or 4 of the Jacksonville team.
And to be fair, I've heard many Edmonton players complain in summer games in Jacksonville and Carolina and Florida. How can you play in such heat? How can people live in such heat? So it is relative to where you grow up and what you're used to, or where you live right now and what you're used to.
Watson tracking back to play the ball back for Farrago here. Oh, he's trying to take on his man right inside the 6-yard box. He's complaining to Watson that he put him in some trouble there, and Watson sort of gesturing with his arms, saying, "What are you talking about? Not my fault." So there's a bit of friction out there as well today among the Eddie's camp. Into the box for Million, makes a great move. Johnson's there with him, and he's put his chance over the top. That's the best chance of the half. Some more disorganization in the Eddie's defense, still recovering from that back pass to Farrago, I think, and almost caught cold.
Yeah, Jamal Johnson again, and I don't know how he gets that open in the penalty area, considering what a bother he's been all half for the Eddies. I think he's probably been the best player on the pitch of anyone out there, and you know, we've seen some confusion in the Eddies defending. You have 3 guys going to 1 guy and Jamal Johnson going free. Some confusion right before that between Farrago and Watson. I'm not sure it was about the back pass or the fact that Farrago felt like on the first touch no one was there available for him to play the ball out to.
Rodales has played a pass down the right-hand side there. Looked good for a moment, but Niasi, even with his pace, won't get to that. It's a throw-in for Jacksonville. In the dying seconds of the first half. And that is the end of the first 45 minutes. No goals here. Jacksonville with probably the better chances. Johnson catching the eye, making some good runs down the left-hand side, but unable to make anything count so far with a goal. And honors are even, 0-0 at halftime.
Yeah, I'm sure the Eddies are going to be concerned about how little they did to actually bother Jacksonville in their own end of the half, or the Jacksonville end of the half, I should say. Really no scoring chances of note for the Eddies. And Jamal Johnson had a couple of looks, one very good save from Tyson Farrago, and then the one that we just saw him put over the bar. Really the only 2 scoring chances of note in this half. And as you said, at times a bit of a lifeless game where it didn't look like either team was in too much of a hurry to get things going. So hopefully we have more pace and more life in the second half.
Korea going the closest for FC Edmonton, a lob shot that was just over the crossbar, and had Sierra scrambling a little bit, but not too much. He's not really been troubled in that first half of play for Jacksonville. Stay with us. We'll have halftime interviews with both of the coaches here coming up, see how they saw that first half and any potential changes they might be looking at for the second half today. Jacksonville, the coach Eric Dade, the interim coach, and he's looking like he's up to the microphone, and he'll be talking to us momentarily here.
Want to tell the boys, tell you
Okay,
guys
Coach,
to make sure you're back.
just maybe talk a little bit about that first half, and maybe Jamal Johnson. Seems he's the most lively player out there.
Yeah, he's been very busy. He's been buzzing all. Good first half for him. A little bit unfortunate. Hopefully he can continue, and maybe we can get something from it.
And you really didn't give up a scoring chance of note. There was maybe one chip that the Eddies tried, but your keeper hasn't been a very busy man.
Well, defensively, we've done a good job. We've gotten behind the ball well. It's been disciplined. Obviously, it's a good team. We got to stay alert. Can't drop it. Stay focused, and hopefully we can finish it off in the second half.
Maybe just talk a little bit about the focus of the team coming up on this, long road trip so late in the season, and kind of keeping it professional and making sure that you get the best effort out of the team.
Well, you always want to stay professional, right? Obviously, we're not chasing the playoffs, but you got to be prideful, and that's what we're trying to be. We're trying to be prideful, trying to find some points on the road. That's been hard for us throughout the year, but I think the guys have been committed to it this week, and again, we just want to finish it off strong.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it, thanks.
Eric Dade, the coach for Jacksonville, joining us at halftime, and fairly pleased with the way his team gone about their business in the first half, but it remains 0-0 so far at Clarke Stadium. We'll hear from Colin Miller momentarily, see how he saw that first 45 minutes and what he's hoping for in the second half. And he's here right now. Colin, thanks for your time. What do you make of the way your team's played first half there?
I didn't realize Jacksonville had come here with 16 players. Our back four have given every ball to them. One of our midfield players, I don't know if they're colourblind, our lads, or what, but that's in possession. We've been so poor, it's been quite incredible. And one or two again, we'll get it's the same message once again at half time. When we have finally got the ball down and tried to pass the ball, we've looked a wee bit dangerous, but we've been their best player once again. So it's just not acceptable. Just not acceptable. I'm not happy at all.
Okay, Colin, thank you.
Thank you.
Colin Miller, not want to sugarcoat things, but we heard there that's probably as disappointed as we've seen him at half-time today. 0-0, but feeling like Jacksonville looked like they had 16 players. Let's see how the Eddies can try and turn it around in the second half. It's 0-0 at Clarke Stadium. Welcome back to Clarke Stadium. Our game today presented to you by Edmonton International Airport. 0-0 at halftime. No changes in the lineup so far for Coach Colin Miller, and probably his message to the players probably gave them 10 or 15 minutes before he starts making them, as disappointed as he was in that first half performance. Jacksonville getting us underway for the second half, attacking the goal to our right, and that's really the only goal that we've seen any highlights in that we played at halftime were all from Jacksonville attacking Edmonton. And that's something that Colin Miller wants to change, making the point that the Eddies had been Jacksonville's best player, and he felt like Jacksonville had 16 players on the pitch, is what he said at halftime.
He's just frustrated by the amount of giveaways that Edmonton had made out there. And I think we talked about it. There was nothing really that troubled Jacksonville in their final third, and so many poor passes. And Colin Miller, he's not the kind of coach that's going to try to look at it through rose-colored glasses. He said it weren't very good in that half.
Roberts playing this one back to Farrago. Correa right on the touchline. Back into Roberts again. A lot of passbacks to Farrago in this game. Even in the second half here, 2 or 3 times.
It just shows they look up the field, they don't see anything. Now we saw that they passed it around the back, go 5 or 6 passes, then a hit and hope ball.
Fordyce again just chasing shadows, not able to get to that. Goal kick Jacksonville.
He's been a lonely man up there. He really has been very, very isolated. And even if he does win possession, he has really no blue shirts with him to help him out. So if he does hold up the ball, he has to wait a long time for the cavalry to come.
Jacksonville looking quite comfortable again in the early stages of the second half. Farrago playing it out to the left-hand side. Smith dispossessed by Nicklock. Smith trying to get back there to win the ball back. Roberts in the end gets ahead of him and plays it back to Farrago, who left-footed boots this one up towards Fordyce. He's beaten in the air by Nishak Jerome. Play whistled down for an injury to Million here. He's gone down on his right-hand side, maybe being pushed at there by Roberts and then running perhaps into the back of Smith and went down clutching his face.
Yeah, a little bit of a train wreck here. We see like 4 players coming together there, all chasing the ball.
Eric Dade up in the technical area talking to the 4th official about that. Million though shaking hands, and play will go on, and Cruz chipping the ball back to Jerome.
It's hard to see any intent there. It's 4 players all chasing the ball. 4 bodies coming together, so there are loose arms and such, and I don't know if it's if Million made contact with Johan Smith's back, an elbow, what have you, but it's not intentional.
Finding Nicola. Jerome again wearing the number 4. Good competitive nature there by Correa to win that one back from Nicola to throw in. To go around the outside, but Smith makes the tackle. Another throw in. Jacksonville picking up from where they left off. A lot of possession in that first half. Rush goes in by Million to the far post, and the Assy dispossessed by Trejo in there. It's back into the penalty area, and a great save by Farragut. Super stop there to deny Castrillon, who went for power with the header, and it looked like it was going in. Farragut with the fingertip over the top.
That's a great save by Tyson Farragut. He moves, gets over, and it comes back the way he came, and he reaches back and gets that ball. Castrillon does very well, gets a ball with power onto goal, but what a stop here by Tyson Farragut.
Jaime Castrillon must have thought that he'd given Jacksonville the lead there. It's the closest they've come to a goal. But Farragut with the stop, and here it just sticks nicely. He doesn't even give up the rebound to the strike from Trejo. Good double save there from Tyson Farragut. Roberts switching play to the left. Here's Johan Smith. Correa. Correa's done well there. And he's going to throw in for FC Edmonton just inside the Jacksonville half.
You know, and as we look at those chances that Jacksonville had, 2 very good shots on target. We're at 51 minutes now, and I don't believe the Eddies have a shot on target yet.
Definitely a worrying statistic for Colin Miller. And I'm sure he'll be thinking about substitutions, given that.
I don't think Sierra's had a save to make. I'm not even talking one of the easy variety where it's just something that's hit towards him. He's had to play it. There's been one chance over the bar. The Korea chip, but nothing else that I would consider anything towards goal with menace, so nothing on target.
Rodal is bringing the ball down for FC Edmonton, playing it back in towards Jones, and Jones did well to win the ball back, but he's given it away as well, and we've seen 2 examples there of the Eddies giving the ball away, which really Colin Miller was very upset at in the first half. Nicola's got space on the right wing here, cross charge down, and Roberts can take this one away. But again, he's just giving it back to Jacksonville.
Yeah, they think that the problem with the giveaways hasn't been solved. Well, Colin Miller went into that dressing room and he was not a happy man about all of the giveaways the Eddies were presenting Jacksonville, and we just saw a few examples there all in a row. Where the Eddies, it's almost like they're doing their best to win the ball back so they can give it away again.
Still got to address the poor passing in that first half. Jacksonville, on the other hand, keeping the ball very well. And they certainly don't look the type of team that's low on confidence away from home. They've passed the ball well, had a lot of possession. It's certainly been a good performance on the road so far.
And now I think they would have to look at it and say, look, we could have the lead. Tyson Farrago, that was an outstanding save on Castro.
One of the highlights from an Eddie's point of view, the save from your goalkeeper. You know things not quite going the way you'd like them to be. There's a problem for Rodales here. This is the second time in the match he's been injured. There was a stoppage for him in the first half too. Makes the interception and then stayed down.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's, you know, maybe a product of that slip from earlier, because both times he's been down, it's not been because of anything any other player's done to him. That time he's trying to block the pass. The other time he was trying to make a pass and he lost his footing. This time he's sliding in to block the pass, and I don't know if there's something bothering him in that knee from the first slip that bothered him again.
Dallas still getting treatment there, a moment in the stoppages. That's the Helm clothing, sponsored by the Helm, Edmonton's premium clothing boutique on Jasper Avenue and 104th Street. Well, Rodales is going to walk off the pitch on the far side of that field. Can he continue or not? He's limping quite a bit there as the ball is thrown back to Jacksonville. And they are actually getting a substitute ready down here.
Looks like Tommy Amiobi might be coming in. Might be more than one sub too, because I see a couple of players peeling off jackets, so there might be a tactical sub as well coming pretty quickly.
Nicholas got a chance to get on the end of this one. Smith, good defensive header away and concedes the throw in. Tommy Amiobi coming on for sure for FC Edmonton. I think we've seen Rodales, that's his last action this season, it looks like.
And if Amiobi comes in for Rodales, that's giving a shuffle in the formation. So bringing another forward for a midfielder. Unless you drop Daryl Fordyce back into an attacking or midfield role, drop him behind Tommy Amiobi.
Nice build-up play by Jacksonville. That's quite a number of passes in succession. Scaglia playing it to the right wing, and Nicholas.
Honestly, with the Jacksonville's knocking the ball around midfield here, and there's not a lot of pressure on them.
Correa, which is the penalty area. Drops for Johnson to get that ball in again. Drops for Perea again. Just dominating possession here. And when Cruz gets the ball, he just blasts it back into the half so that his team can get some respite here. just chasing the ball at the moment.
Yeah, and then Jacksonville's going to hold it again and hold it again. And you know, I understand the Eddies were down to 10 men for a couple of minutes there as they were prepping the sub.
The substitution brought to you by The Helm, Edmonton's premium men's clothing boutique, and that is confirmation that Rodala's replaced by Tomi Amiobi, who moves straight up front, and Daryl Fordyce has dropped back into midfield to take that spot where Rodala's was playing, and he has an immediate impact winning the ball. Referee saying that it's a foul. He felt that he'd won it cleanly there, but a free kick given against Fordyce.
That looked like Fordyce got a lot of the ball on that challenge.
Not sure about that one.
I'll tell you one thing, though, that I'm not sure the player who's down. He's going to be talking to his teammate there, Mishak Jerome, about that pass, because that was a horrible pass that is asking for your teammate to get injured. That's what you call the hospital pass that he got from Jerome, and Jerome's got to take some responsibility there for putting his teammate in a terrible, terrible position there. Let's see, this is just a lazy pass. Puts his teammate in a very bad spot.
Yeah, Pereira never the favorite to get to that ball. Fordyce had to go for it and thought that he'd won it fair and square. But the referee feeling like maybe the stud's showing. Maybe he didn't quite get the ball. And the free kick given to Jacksonville. Bit of a let-off there for Jerome because it was a poor pass. He's played this one back to his goalkeeper too. Sierra had to go backwards for it. Amiobi puts the pressure on, but he does get the clearance, and Pereira's the man who gets his head to the ball. He's back in the action. Looks like Jacksonville getting ready to make a substitution as well here. Barrett getting ready to come on for them.
Barrett really influenced that game last week. Drew a penalty, scored a goal when Jacksonville were down 2-1 and helped 10-man Armada turn that around to a 3-2 win last week against the Eddies. So he's going to have to be aware. It's a speedster.
Substitution's going to happen here. Barrett is coming on.
It's Castrillon coming off. Castrillon's the man who came closest to scoring. We talked about Jamal Johnson a lot in the first half, but that headed effort by Castrillon, I think he'll be talking to himself a bit about that save, Tyson Farrago.
Barrett replacing Castrillon, and that substitution brought to you by The Helm, Edmonton's premium men's clothing boutique on Jasper Avenue, 104th Street. Watson playing this one back towards his own goal here. Farrago stops it under pressure, gets his clearance nicely into the half of Jacksonville. Forcing it up the right-hand side. Zeeby trying to control it. It'll drop for Cruz. Cruz back to Fordyce, who's dropped very deep, but a switch play nicely to the left wing. Smith controls it well. Correa in possession. Back for Roberts. Roberts chipping one long. It's too long for Tomi Amiobi.
And again, another hit and hope.
Not sure that Amiobi's actually touched the ball since he's been on the field.
And you know what? There's lots of spaces where a lot of the Edmonton attacking players haven't touched the ball.
Amiobi finding out what Fordyce found out in that first half is that service in this match is pretty tough to come by, and he hasn't really had the chance to do much so far. Jacksonville have just been dominating the ball. Last half hour of the season for Edmonton. It's Niasi on the right wing, cuts it back nicely, and Amiobi was waiting for it, but Jerome makes a very good defensive play and then releases Johnson on the left.
And, you know, Garrett, we're at minute 62 and still not a shot on goal from the Eddies.
Chance here, and that's a good strike just over the top. Farrago tried to save that one as well. Krasanovic felt like, in fact, that was deflected or saved and thinks it should have been a corner kick. But you can see here, Johnson heads it into his path, takes it first time, and if maybe Farrago did get a fingertip stop on that, they were certainly appealing for the corner kick.
But honestly, that's just too easy. You can't have a flicked header from Jamal Johnson and finding a wide open guy in the middle of the box. You know, nothing has really improved from for the Eddies. Colin Miller said how disappointed he was with this team in the first half, and nothing has been fixed. It just feels like this team is still going through the motions here, and they have to be a lot more professional about how they're conducting themselves in this game, because really the effort hasn't been there. We just see guys being left alone in the box. Jacksonville should be up. They deserve to be up.
Another defensive lapse for Edmonton in there, and Krasanovic just not able to capitalize.
You're going to see the volley, and I think he does get a touch to it. I do think that Farrago got a touch to it, and you see it. Cameraman also got a touch to it.
Yeah, flatten the camera there right after the fingertip stop.
But definitely a more worrying signs from the Eddies. You know what, and I did say about the Eddies' performance, but I have to exclude Tyson Farrago from this, because he's made some very good saves today.
Farrago playing well again, as he did when he started the last game last season, made some great saves in that game too, but in front of him today, too many gaps and spaces that have allowed chances for Jacksonville. Still 0-0.
Definitely on balance of play, possession, scoring chances. It's all check marks in Jacksonville's boxes.
Good header by Jerome as he was backpedaling there, very well timed. Correa finding Barrett. Trejo infield for Johnson. Zeeby makes a good interception. You can see the ironic cheers from the crowd as the Eddies put a couple of passes together. Niasi to Correa, trying to line it up for his left foot strike. Very good save by the goalkeeper. A shot on goal finally for FC Edmonton in the 66th minute. Dustin Correa striking one, and Sierra going down low to his left and making a good stop.
Yeah, I had that officially at 65 and 65-30, but that a fine save from Sierra. Good work from Correa to cut inside, but just running. What will happen? Niasi actually runs at a defender, and he has people joining him in the attack, and funny, good things happen then. And it's simple things like that that we haven't seen for the first 65 minutes of this game. But there's a positive sign for the Eddies. They're fortunate to be where they are right now with the game still at 0-0. Maybe they can take it. Oh,
Jones is in a lot of trouble here.
He's going off for that.
Well, unquestionably kicked out at his player there, and it's still continuing, and Jones would do well to leave the field at this point. And in fact, Watson pulling him away from the melee that broke out on the pitch following that challenge.
Even if Jones hadn't been on a yellow, you'd think that he's going off for this. And yes, there's a push there. I get it. But Richie Jones has got to know. He's got to know. That's just foolish. It really is foolish. It's a selfish play, and I understand you're frustrated. You've just been shoved. But you can't do that. You just can't go and kick a player like that.
Colin Miller looking from his technical area as Jones walks off the pitch.
And you can see the stare from Colin Miller. You can feel it from here. That's a icy stare that he's looking at his own player there.
Well, the referee with very little option than to do anything else there. I think, as you mentioned, Steve, if it wasn't, I mean, it probably would have been a straight red in any event.
It should have been a straight red. It should have been given as a straight red, not as a second yellow, because the suspension is different going into next season. Because that's a total attempt just to kick a player in the gut. That there's no going for the ball, and to me, that's a straight red card foul.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Jones sent off, and they will play the last 23 minutes of this season with 10 men. Just prior to that, the first spark of attacking play with Korea's strike as well, but Jones has let himself and his team down there with that kind of reaction on Barrett.
And we were mentioning earlier in the game that he was walking the tightrope too, with one of the other fouls where he pushed someone in the back, but that one, I mean, we could call that before the whistle went, and like I think I blurted, he's off now. I mean, there's nothing you can do as a referee. There's no saving that.
Understandable reaction, in fact, from some of the Jacksonville players who were not too impressed by the challenge. That's why things started to spill over a little bit, but it was under control fairly quickly, and Watson pulled Jones out of the way, and he walked off the pitch. Free kick here to FC Edmonton. A little bit of frustration at the moment from both fans. That often happens with a sending off like that, and it's a free kick for the Eddies.
And I get that Richie Jones is frustrated. I get that Pereira's got his hands up. But it's a case where you just can't do that. You know you're on a yellow too. You can't do that anytime. You can't kick someone in the gut when you got nothing on you. You're looking at a red.
Amiobi just getting perhaps a glance on that header. Free kick from Cruz. It's going wide, and it's another goal kick for Jacksonville. No goals so far. 20 minutes to play. The Eddies will do it with 10 men.
And I think it said a lot that when Richie Jones went off, he didn't even make a move to go towards Colin Miller on the bench. He kept his distance, and you could see Colin Miller stare.
Barrett at the other end, causing problems again with some pace towards the edge of the area. Left foot shot, though, just lifted over the top. It's going to be a goal kick. Another substitution for Jacksonville here. And it looks like Krasanovic is going to be replaced, and Flores is going to come on. This substitution brought to you by The Helm, Edmonton's premium men's clothing boutique. Flores replacing Krasanovic. Well, Krasanovic with a couple of chances, couldn't quite make them pay. Flores now getting the chance to play the last 20 minutes here. Flores with his first touch there as they sweep play to the right wing, and Nicola Million, lovely back heel right into his path, and there's the strike. Farrago once again saves his team, getting low down to his left and not allowing himself to be beaten at the near post.
Another great chance for Jacksonville, and another great save from Tyson Farrago. Tries to go near post. Farrago keeps his feet, stays big. It really is a Tyson Farrago show for FC Edmonton today.
Million with the corner. Farrago claims it. I think it had gone into touch already, and so it's going to be a goal kick. Farrago really playing well.
Well, I know sometimes we debate the man of the match between us. I don't know if anyone would have any debate if we're picking FC Edmonton man of the match tonight right now.
At this point, I think you have to go with Farrago, and even he might be he'd blush a little bit for getting it just because of the way the team have played in front of it. Colin Miller preparing to make another substitution here. We might see Hanson Boakai. He's just getting the paperwork done on the halfway line, hoping to come on here. And Noni getting stripped off as well, so he might be looking at another double substitution, just trying to inject anything into the team here at this point. Here comes Hansen Boakai. He's going to be replacing Pablo Cruz. Cruz getting some applause as he is replaced by Boakai. And this substitution brought to you by The Helm, Edmonton's premium men's clothing boutique. Quite ready for Noni yet, but he's got to come on the next stoppage in play. FC Edmonton playing with 10 men. Richie Jones with that rash sending off, a red card. And so the Eddies trying anything they can now, Colin Miller, for the last 15 or so minutes. See if his team can produce something special with a man short.
There, you see Miasi put some pressure, the long kick, at least force the defenders to put the ball into touch and set up. And Noni coming on, and this will be Dustin Correa coming off.
The only player who's had a shot saved, a shot on target in the game, Correa. He's going to be replaced by Michael Noni. That substitution brought to you by The Helm.
It was a good effort.
Basically what they're doing here now is playing three at the back. Noni's one of them, and Zeeby has moved forward into midfield. And they're trying to have a go with 10 men just by moving things around a little bit. Noni's pace probably makes him a good candidate to watch out for those runs from Johnson from the left-hand side, and that's probably his task in the last 15 minutes here. First touch isn't the best, but he's won himself a throw-in.
Ladies and gentlemen, big advise that all your sales are now closed.
See, too, if the Eddies can generate something going forward. Down 10 men. They've had trouble generating much with 11, so we'll see if the fresh legs have an impact on this game.
Nice passing there, and Boakai in the end linking up with Smith, but the play rather breaking down, and Fordyce picking the play up here. Looking for Boakai again. Boakai, edge of the penalty area. Referee says there's no foul there.
Looked like he walked into three players looking for it. He knew he was in a traffic jam.
Barrett at the other end of the pitch. Twisting and turning is very difficult to mark. But that hasn't quite worked for him, and Farrago has possession for Edmonton.
Now, of course, Jacksonville, has to be noted, had a man sent off last week. And that was Keita. That's why he's not here today.
It's the kind of inspiration Edmonton will be looking for. Is turning things around, even though they're a man short. It's always difficult to play against 10 men sometimes. It can be a problem, but there is a terrible goal to concede. Very unlucky. Johnson with a cross from the left-hand side. It deflects into the net. There's nothing Farrago can really do about that. Johnson will try and claim it, but it looks like an own goal. And Edmonton finally fall behind.
And clearly this is an attempt to cross the ball and clips off of Watson's heels. It's unlucky, but you can't say that Jacksonville don't deserve to be ahead.
Johnson, the danger man all game long. Whether that ball was going in or not, that will be something to look at, but I think that might well be an own goal.
I think that's got to be Albert Watson's own goal. I don't think, and I know that NASL scores tend to be very generous when it comes to own goals. I mean, we've seen a couple here this year that were debatable, that were given to the player, but I don't know in any world how you can give that goal to Jamal Johnson. That's got to be an own goal.
Yeah, you have to think it's got to be going towards the target, and it really wasn't.
No, it's unfortunate because it's a deflection. But I can't see that being scored any other way. But, you know, I've been wrong about those in the past. There's a couple that I've said, well, that's clearly an own goal, and it ended up being given to that player or to the attacking player.
Jacksonville have not won an away game this season so far. Edmonton wouldn't want to be the first team for that to happen to, but in reality, you have to say that Jacksonville deserve to be in front so far today. 12 minutes or so to go. But Edmonton definitely second best this afternoon.
No, it's definitely an unfortunate goal, but you know, there's nothing unfortunate in the sense of the result. Edmonton have got so far for the effort that's come into this game really what they deserve, and that's to be down.
Johnson still going on the left-hand side, able to evade 2 or 3 tackles there. And has forced himself a corner kick. Pretty disappointing way to finish the season, the way Edmonton have played today. They can play a lot better than this.
This is, you know, the kind of result, I think, you know, Colin Miller said that, you know, he's made a decision with 5 guys. He's not going to make a decision about the team based on this game. But if you ever wanted to make a decision based on a game or about which guys want to show up, I'm sure a lot of guys have asked questions of their coach they don't want to ask today.
Yeah, I wonder if he cemented his view of some players or even did make the decision for a couple of others. Very poor performance from Edmonton today.
You know, Colin at the top of the show talked about he felt there's only 2 games this year against Indy and against New York where they were clearly the second best. And I think this goes as number 3. And maybe I know this game doesn't mean a lot for the standings, other than, you know, if you finish 6th or 7th or where have you. But in terms of where you are, a Jacksonville team that's had to travel a long, long way, this has not been very good. And it has to.
Free kick here for Edmonton. Barrago's come out to take it. Last 10 minutes of the season. He's launched it long into the box. Amiobi's the target. That goes all the way through to David Sierra, who makes a routine catch for Jacksonville.
And we know too that Richie Jones will miss the opener next year because he'll be suspended. Suspensions do carry over.
Yeah, that was really silly sending off. You could see even on the replay the home fans reacting with all kinds of oohs and ahs when they saw it up on the big screen. Just the challenge there, and Barrett collapsing to the floor. Not very impressed.
No,
I mean, I don't think anyone in the stadium complained about the decision. You don't often see that with a sending off. Normally, you know, at least 1 or 2 players will crowd the referee. You didn't see any of that. The home fans didn't complain. He just started to walk.
The only thing I was surprised, I think the referee actually did it as a second yellow and a red, which might save Richie Jones a couple of games of suspension for next season, because if it's a straight red on that, you're thinking that's at least 2-3 games. And now with it being a second yellow offense, which it shouldn't have been, it should have been a straight red, because the referee can make that decision that, no, that's not a second yellow, that's a straight red. I'm just going to pull out the red right off the bat. And to me, that was as clear cut as I've seen here in the years that we've covered FC Edmonton, where wow, you just turn around and kick the guy.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Jacksonville very comfortable at this stage. Just around 6 minutes to go. Edmonton have got a throw in here. Not too much for the home fans to cheer about on the last home performance of the season. Nice little 1-2 between Niasi and Zibi there. Niasi's pace taking him to the edge of the area. It's a good cross into the box. Boakai tried to bring it down, just couldn't sit down for him. Roberts, nice little turn past Barrett, then goes past a second player and wins himself a free kick. Good response there from Milan Roberts to win a free kick for FC Edmonton. Good composure on the ball. It's a good footwork for a big man.
This is where you got to do it on the set piece. Take your time, get your big men forward. Down a man, so you got to make these set pieces tell.
Boakai just waiting for Roberts to arrive in the penalty area before he takes this one. His team 1-0 down. That's a poor free kick. Cleared by the first man. He might get a second bite of the cherry, but he's miscontrolled that too. And it's taken away from him in the end. By Million, but Boakai battling hard to win it back, has a free kick, finds Watson. Watson's tried to drive it to the right-hand side, looking for Niasi. He's got his team a throw in.
But you know, in the post-mortem, when we're going to look back at you know, why the Eddies didn't make the postseason and where they finished, you're going to look at a possible 0-3 against an expansion Jacksonville team. And look no further than that. You know, you can say that they didn't win certain games against the better teams in the league, and they actually did play very well against the Cosmoses of the world, Minnesota United. But it's games like this that you got to win, even the one on the road when they were up a man. And that's what you're going to say. That's where the season was lost. There's a couple losses to Atlanta, too, that fit in there. And you look at those points, and those are where the season's gone the way it has for this team.
Farragut tries to get them going. Ball forward to Aniobi. He can't control that one. And Perea, who's a very strong game in the midfield, bringing the ball forward for Jacksonville again. ZB tackled as he tries to bring the ball into the Jacksonville half. Ends up going backwards. Watson readjusts and finds Roberts alongside him. Milan Roberts now approaching the last 4 minutes at Clarke Stadium. A forward pass to Boakai. Now Zibi. Not a bad ball inside the defense, but even Niasi won't get to that. Sierra marshalling his penalty box well on the edge of the 18-yard line. Jacksonville know they just need to keep the ball now, do things safe in the last few minutes of the game, and they'll have their first road win this season.
A couple of minutes left in the season, too, as Jacksonville moves the ball forward.
Nicola playing on to Barrett. His men over on the left-hand side. Johnson is there again. Noni approaching him, but Johnson trying to cut in field and deliver the cross. It's going to be easy for Farragut. Keeps the ball in play, and he's got Smith alongside of him here. Roberts.
See the forwards, Andy Obi and Ford, I suppose, just howling for the ball just to be played in.
Andy Obi breaking towards the edge of the box. Smith outside of him, he's given that one away. Couldn't find Boakai.
Giveaways just been the story of the game.
Flores rides the challenge from Zeeby. Tackle from behind in the end by Zeeby, but it's a throw in for Jacksonville.
There's a sub coming in. I just wanted to, I was about to say this earlier, but Jacksonville was getting on the attack. Just want to thank our great staff that helped put our broadcast together all year long. Everything from replays to the graphics that you see, and making sure that the broadcast goes as well as possible and make us look as good as possible. A lot of great people behind this broadcast.
Yeah, nice one, Steve. We're very lucky. Substitution here. Million looks like he's coming off to be replaced by Rodriguez for the last few minutes. Ready to restart with a throw in for Jacksonville. That substitution brought to you by the help. Good game by Million. Very strong.
You can hear Eric Dade from up here, Jacksonville's coach, yelled to Mr. Referee as Lucas Rodriguez went to the turf there.
Jacksonville just trying to kill the last few minutes. We're into the last minute now. They play the ball back to their goalkeeper, David Sierra. Jacksonville again, and here's Johnson, the lead tormentor for Edmonton today. Of time added on as Amiobi breaks towards goal, and very good tackle by Mishak Jerome to deny him. That's one of the few occasions the Eddies have got around the back, and in fact they've probably looked more dangerous with 10 men than they had with 11.
At that time Jacksonville just got caught up with way too many players up the field, considering where this game is at, with them leading by a goal in injury time. And Amiobi ends up one-on-one with Mishak Jerome.
Got a corner, FC Edmonton. Another chance for Niassi to get the ball over from the right. And it's going to be another corner. There was stifled appeals for a handball, but I think that probably just driven at him, couldn't react quickly enough.
It did look like he was tucked his hands in, and that was Pascal Million. He tucked his hands in. So. You're right, I think it was ball to arm.
Referee just making sure there's no more pushing and shoving in there before the corner comes in from Niassi. Again, he'll get a second chance from the right. On his left peg, and it comes. There's the header by Roberts, and Roberts has hauled FC Edmonton level with an excellent header at the far post. Niassi's left-footed cross is weaker side, and up goes Roberts and pulls FC Edmonton level with 10 men, and he picked the corner beautifully. 1-1.
And I think Jacksonville's going to be kicking themselves. This series of corners was set up because they fell asleep defensively with the lead. And then, I talked about it earlier in the game, the Eddies have to take advantage situations, get men in the box. They're taller than Jacksonville, get balls in the air, And there you see the aerial advantage making it pay. Milan Roberts getting up, and great header. 1-1.
Injury time goal from Roberts, finding the stanchion there beautifully. And it's 1-1, a game that FC Edmonton have largely struggled in. But since the sending off, have actually improved in confidence. And maybe Jacksonville a little nervy. They've not managed to win on the road. And the Eddies taking the chance when they got it. Poor punch on the edge of his own area by Sierra there. Emi Obi with his back to goal couldn't get the shot off, but it's with Niasi. And now Zeeby. Here comes the cross. It's going to be another corner. And all of a sudden it's full-scale panic stations for Jacksonville.
You say to yourself, where was this all game?
Chance in the dying seconds for FC Edmonton. Corner comes in. Roberts is there again. And Watson striking the ball. Driven over this time, but completely different feel to the way Edmonton are finishing this game than they've played in most of it. They're trying everything at the moment.
Yeah, they've brought numbers forward, and as I said, they're using that physical advantage that they have, getting size into the box, and driving balls in, and trying to create some panic in the Jacksonville back end. They've done it.
Fordyce looking to lob the goalkeeper from long range. Wasn't a bad idea. Sierra scarpering back towards his line, but has a goal kick. And that's it. An injury time equalizer by Milan Roberts, pulling FC Edmonton level after a poor first half display, a sending off for Richie Jones, but that almost sparked them into action. And Roberts finding the top corner with an excellent header to make it 1-1. Stay with us. Our post-game show is coming up. Welcome back to Clarke Stadium, a 1-1 draw between FC Edmonton and Jacksonville Armada. Welcome to our post-game show brought to you by Matakana Scaffolding. Well, Milan Roberts rescuing a point for FC Edmonton. Jacksonville looking like they were on course for all three. A strong performance from them, but just not able to do it in the end. Let's hear from their coach, Eric Dade.
Coach, you're cruising for almost 90 minutes in terms of not really giving up much in terms of scoring chances, and then maybe talk to us what happens in the last minute, a couple minutes of the game.
Well, obviously they pushed forward. I thought we did a very good job as far as managing the game. They pushed forward, and obviously it's a big team. They're difficult matchups for us. Unfortunately, guys were left on the back post, and at this level, guys are going to put those kind of goals away. So we're a little disappointed in ourselves. Not sure. It looked like it might have been offside, so I'm not sure. But, you know, end of the day, it is what it is, and those guys fought to the end, and credit to them.
And maybe talk about some of the chances. I mean, you get the goal, but Edmonton's keeper really stoned you on a few of them.
Thought he played very well. We thought we had a couple clear chances that typically, you know, you at this level you think we put in. But all credit to the goalkeeper. He did a good job, and he kept them in the game in that regards.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Eric Dade just suggesting that perhaps suspicion of offside, but also that the height advantage for FC Edmonton, and paying credit to the Eddies. A strong comeback there at the last few minutes, and the injury time headed goal by Milan Roberts, giving them a share of the spoils in the last home game of the season today. Let's go back to Coach Colin Miller. Colin, as disappointed as I've seen you at halftime, what's your verdict at the end with Milan giving you the equalizer in injury time there?
Yeah, it was nice. It was a fantastic header, great ball in the box. But all I can say is thank you to the crowd who were fantastic here today. I don't want to talk about the football because it was one of the worst football performances I've seen. And you know, we did well. We showed character to come back and not give up as usual, as you expect that from FC Edmonton. But our crowd, I thought, were fantastic here today. So I'm very grateful for that support. And you know, we'll regroup. There'll be some changes, and you know, as you could imagine, there'll be some serious changes at the club.
Okay, Colin, we look forward to hearing about those in the coming weeks. Thanks you for your interview today and joining us all season long.
Yeah, thank you again, guys. You've done a great job all season. I'm very grateful for the support, and you guys do a fantastic job, so thanks very much.
Thank you, Colin.
Cheers.
That's Colin Miller. Some food for thought for him as he goes back to the dressing room, and as he said that, there will be changes after this.
And I think we look at it, it's a great goal from Milan Roberts, but it really sugarcoats what was an overall poor performance. Edmonton will say they stole the point. Let's say what it is. Tyson Farrago, with some of those saves, may have stolen the point for the Eddies.
Well, he even said at that point, Colin Miller, he didn't want to talk about the football today. So disappointed was he in the performance. Let's talk to our goalkeeper, the man of the match, Tyson Farrago. Well played today, Tyson. Just give us your reaction on the game. One that probably wasn't the best team performance, although you stood out with so many good saves in there.
Yeah, well, I just enjoyed every moment. This whole week I've been preparing to make saves, and I had to give us a second chance. And the boys, it just speaks volumes out of the quality of the players we have, and to come back and tie it up is just huge for the club going into the break.
Which was your favorite save? The one that you just got the fingertip on over the top from the header?
Yeah, that one definitely. That's my Hollywood save right there. Cameras are out today.
It's always nice when you're airborne like that to get a fingertip.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely to get the save and give us an extra chance.
Well played today, Tyson. Nice talking to you.
Cheers, guys.
The man of the match brought to you by the helm, Tyson Farrago, and liking seeing that replay of his fingertip save over the top to keep the team in it. That looked at that point that Castrillon could have definitely sealed the deal for Jacksonville. Let's look back at the highlights in our game today. Brought to you by Oodle Noodle.
And here we see Jamal Johnson all day. Oh, and he clips the ball. He's been dangerous all day long. Clips the ball off Albert Watson's shins as he's trying to cross this. Yeah, and you can see that Watson's trying to get that ball away. Clips off his chin, off his leg as he's trying to block that pass, and it goes in.
Here we are with Roberts. There's the header. How well he picks the corner. Guides it.
Absolutely, and a great cross from the Assay after some pressure late in the game. But as Colin Miller said, that's a nice end to a what he called one of the worst footballing performances he's seen from this team.
The save of the game now. Brought to you by Sterling Homes. A couple of candidates from Tyson Farrago, but that one his favorite and worth seeing again. Castrillon, what a good save.
And he's got the Hollywood save, so he's going to see it a few more times here. Enjoy it.
Nice smile on his face, tipping that one over the crossbar, and there he is, talking to the fans. Nice for him to get a chance to play, and looking solid in goal today.
And every time I've seen him play, there's an audition, for a number one job that I see every time. I don't think I've seen him have a bad game when he's gone in for the Eddies.
Very well played by Tyson Farrago today, the standout performer in a game that was a little flat for FC Edmonton. Just not quite having the stuff today in the last game of the season, but still coming back to rescue a point with Roberts' equalizing goal. Big thanks to our crew. There you see them, their names on the side of the screen from M31, making our broadcasts happen every home game here at Clarke Stadium. Johnson tormenting Edmonton today, but Farrago standing firm, and Roberts coming back with that late equalizing goal to give FC Edmonton a point.
Yeah, and it's again, we're looking at the names as they go by, as we're looking at the highlights from the game, and these are the people that do a great job at bringing you everything that comes with the game, and sometimes helping us out, because we don't see everything. Sometimes we get a whisper in our ear. That's something we might have missed.
Thank you for joining our broadcast this season. We'll be back next year. Hope to see you then next spring, and maybe the Eddies can make a run at the playoffs for them. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you very much.